السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، دكاترتنا المحترمين. برحب بيكم في فيديو جديد على قناتكم صوت صيدلة مصر مع دكتور فاضل. حقيقة كنت في نقاش مع أحد الأصدقاء والزملاء صيدلي في أستراليا، فقال لي أنت ممكن تهاجر كصيدلي ثم تغير هناك المهنة أو تدرس حاجة جديدة. وقال لي الدنيا هناك يعني مفتوحة جدا في موضوع الدراسة، فطول ما انت عندك الرغبة والقدرة انك تدرس فالامور هناك ميسرة جدا. بس حبيت الفت نظركم لان في ناس فاكرة ان لازم لو هاجرت كصيدلي تشتغل صيدلي بس، فدي لا، دي مش الحقيقة. انت الدنيا هناك متاحة جدا انك تكمل حتى كلية تانية يعني. ازيكم يا دكاترة، عاملين ايه؟ طمنونا عليكم وعلى اخباركم، وأرجو إن يكون الناس بتتابع الفيديوهات لحظة بلحظة علشان الدنيا ما تتراكمش زي ما قلنا في الأول. لو شفت كل الفيديوز بانتظام هتلاقي عندك حصيلة لغوية وحصيلة علمية جيدة جدا، ومش هتحتاج بعد كده إن أنت تذاكر أو حاجة، لأن الكلام خلاص لو عدى عليك قبل كده بيكون الأمور سهلة بالنسبة لك يعني. فنبدأ كده بقى في آخر حاجة في الريد ألاود إن شاء الله. احنا كنا عايزين نخلص المرة اللي فاتت بس ملحقناش، لكن ان شاء الله نخلص النهاردة. وياريت يا دكاترة نركز على الريد الاود لانه ليه بالك كبير في الامتحان. طيب بسم الله، نبدأ بقى بالباسج اللي وقفنا عندها. بيقول: As a historian, if you really want to understand the sensibilities of those who lived in the past, you must be like a novelist and get into skins of your characters and think and feel as they do. You are asked to imagine what it's like to be a peasant in medieval times. Asking the sort of questions a peasant might ask, what the writer is saying is that a historian needs imaginative sympathy with ordinary people in the past. زي ما قلنا يا دكاترة في الريد الاود هو بيحاسب على البانكتويشن. وقفت عند الكوما، وقفت عند الفول ستوب، وقفت عند الكويستشن مارك، الاكسكلاميشن مارك، علامة التعجب. فدي حاجات مهمة بالنسبة لهم وبتتصحح AI زي ما قلنا مفيش عنصر بشري، وبيشوف البرونانسيشن بتاعك، نطق مظبوط ولا مش مظبوط، وبيشوف الفلوينسي او الطلاقة او الانتظام في الكلام. طبعا هيستوريان اللي هو الشخص المؤرخ، ممكن مثلا نقول novelist اللي هو القصاص. get into skins of characters يعني تضع نفسك في موضعهم بحيث تقدر تعبر عن الشخصيات بصدق. طبعا peasant اللي هي بيزنطي، و medieval times اللي هي القرون الوسطى أو العصور الوسطى. sociological thought written by 10 eminent professors. It had been updated to reflect the shifts of sociological thought in the last 5 years, making it the most comprehensive, authoritative, and contemporary dictionary available. It was essential reading for all students and teachers of socialists and other related courses, and also for the general readers. Graduate Admission School. Since our graduate admission school is not centralized, each of the university's 6 schools and colleges admits students to its own programs. For information about specific program degrees, graduate applications, graduate admission requirements and procedures, graduate scholarships, and the status of your application. Visit the individual school websites. طبعا انت بتقرا بهذه الطلاقة، حاول ما تتلعثمش وما تقفش، ولو حصل ووقفت في كلمة او مش عارف تقراها سكبت وخش على بعديها. Rehabilitation اللي هي إعادة التأهيل. The primary application we are targeting at first is to give people a decision aid during rehabilitation following an acute knee injury, to help them understand when they can perform particular activities and when they can move to different intensities of particular activities. A useful thing to take a crack at. طبعا انت في الاول بيديلك في الريد الاود شوية وقت كده ثواني بتقرا فيها الباسج قبل ما او او الجملة قبل ما تبدأ فيها يعني. فالمفروض انت في الوقت ده بتجهز نفسك وتبقى فاميليار مع الكلمات بتاعتها، تبص عليها الاول عشان ما تقفش فيها او يحصل لك تأخير او كده. Central aim الهدف المركزي. Our central aim is to enable you to develop knowledge and attitudes and skills that are conducive to constructive involvement, cooperation and teamwork with others, and will serve you in future endeavors. بص هنا انا وقفت وكملت بعديها عادي، فانت المفروض ما يحصلكش وقفة زي كده في الامتحان. Cooperation and teamwork with others and will serve you well in future endeavors اللي هي المناورات. To succeed, the process demands all of us as a serious exercise in civic responsibility. Regular exercise releases brain chemicals for memory, concentration, and mental sharpness at the same time as lifting your mood and lowering stress and anxiety, all of which contribute to brain health. Studies show that regular exercise helps you manage complex tasks, organize and razor sharpen your focus, which is great for those long revision sessions or particularly complex exam questions. Infant brain, along with all that they have in common, infants also show unique individual traits. Some are more active than others, some are more sociable, and some are more interested in the world around them. Infants earlier on show consistent differences in friendliness and anxiety level, which form part of their early character. Medical digitalization. In medicine, the application of information technology means the digitalization of medical records and the establishment of an intelligent network for sharing those records. Other benefits flow from these technological changes. In the past, medicine has taken a paternalistic stance, with the all-knowing physician dispensing wisdom, but that is becoming increasingly untenable. The border itself between Mexico and the United States is fraught with a mix of urban and desert terrain and spans over 1,900 miles. Both the uninhabited areas of the border and urban areas are where the most drug trafficking and illegal crossings take place. Crime is prevalent in urban cities like El Paso, Texas, and San Diego, California. Walking tour. The information session is a 45-minute presentation conducted by an admission representative. Immediately following the session is a 90-minute walking tour of the campus led by a student ambassador. Walking tours of the campus generally include classroom buildings, a residence hall room, a dining hall, the library, athletic facilities, performing art facilities, and the student union. Long distance flyers. Researchers think that long distance flyers such as the American golden plover and the white rumpled sandpiper picked up the spores while lining their nests. Then, when the birds arrive in new places, they molt, leaving behind the feathers and their precious cargo to start growing again at the other end of the world. Roman army. طبعا أنا دلوقتي بقرأ الكلام كأني في الامتحان، كأني بمتحن. وأنا بالمناسبة أول مرة أشوف القطعة ديت يعني. ففي واحد من الزملاء اللي مش مشتركين اوريدي في الكورس قال لي اقرا القطعة على بعضها وما تترجمش، احنا لو في كلمات صعبة هنبعت لك او نشوفها يعني. فانا يعني لقيت كلامه برضو ايه اللي هو انت عايز تشوف الاداء اللي هتعمله في الامتحان، مش مهم قوي بالنسبة لك المعاني يعني. طيب Roman army. There were two types of soldiers in the Roman army: the Roman legionary and the auxiliaries. The legionaries were the very best soldiers, and the auxiliaries were actually non-Roman citizens. Legionaries wore an undershirt made of linen and a woolen tunic. The linen helped the soldiers to stay cool, while the wool helped to trap heat, keeping the soldiers warm. Primitive men. The findings of modern research support the view that the evolution of primitive men and their culture should be regarded as unity. Yet this unity is exceedingly complex, and future research will doubtless enable us to make finer distinctions between the periods that people composed it. Disabled people and technology. The use of technologies for the inclusion and empowerment of persons with disabilities is not new. From the creation of Braille and first hearing aid to the invention of the wheelchair. For disabled persons, new assistive technology can make all the difference, while technology and innovation are breaking down the barriers to achieving full participation. Moods. Moods may also have an effect on how information is processed. By influencing the extent to which judges rely on pre-existing internal information or focus on new external information, positive moods promote more holistic and top-down processing style, while negative moods recruit more stimulus-driven and bottom-up processing. Mutual politics. In order to achieve the free flow of goods and services with work and capital between the member countries, they needed to establish mutual politics in areas as diverse as agriculture, transport, and when they were concerned with a wide range of issues. A wider range of issues. Behavioral science. Behavior and social sciences research helps predict, prevent, and manage illness. In individuals and whole populations, this research also helps people change their behaviors, understand treatments, and learn how to stick with them. Societal roles significant too. Access to health care affects decision making and behavior. U.S. student debt. The numbers of U.S. student debt, after all, are truly staggering. The average 2015 U.S. university graduate who took out loans to help pay for tuition enters the workforce with $35,000 in student debt. In the U.S., total student debt exceeds $1.15 trillion, dwarfing, for instance, the nation's credit card debt. Personal libraries. Scholars build their own personal libraries to support not only particular projects but also general reading in their field. They buy or make photocopies of materials when possible, so they can consult them frequently, mark pages and write annotation on them. When moving on into a new field, they add to their collections, usually concentrating on primary texts. Lecture beginning. Don't miss the beginning of the lecture since it is very often most valuable part. For instance, because it reviews previous lectures or outlines objects and lecture structure. If you easily get distracted by other students, sit near the front. Undergraduates education. Undergraduates may choose to major in any one of 125 academic majors. The university's distinguished faculty includes internationally known scientists, authors, and teachers who are committed to continuing the university's tradition in providing one of the highest quality undergraduate educations available. Loggerhead Turtle. It's time for this young loggerhead turtle to go to work. We can tether turtles in these little harnesses, put them into this tank and dull swimming place. University of North Carolina biologist Ken Lohman studies sea turtles that are programmed from birth for an extraordinary journey. Mother turtles bury the eggs on the beach and then turn to the sea, and the eggs hatch about 50 to 60 days later. Antarctic, the world's fifth largest continent. Antarctica is almost entirely covered by ice 2,000 meters thick. The area sustains varied wildlife including seals, whales, and penguins. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959 and enforced since 1961, provides for international governance of Antarctica. Globalization. The benefits and disadvantages of globalization are the subject of ongoing debate. The downside to globalization can be seen in the increased risk for the transmission of diseases. Globalization has, of course, led to great good. To richer nations now can come to the aid of poorer nations in crisis. Increasing diversity in many countries has meant more opportunity to learn about and celebrate other cultures. Agricultural science. While advances in agricultural science have always been critical to ensuring we help feed the world, its impact and importance is even greater now. As population grows at a rapid rate and the availability of the arable land steadily declines, science and technology solutions are essential to meeting growing demand for food, maintaining market competitiveness, and adapting to land mitigating risks. Mitigation. As far as politics go, the responses are just as varied. Mitigation is common and calls for a reduction of emissions and less reliance on fossil fuels. Coal burning power plants are now replaced with hydraulic power plants, and electric cars are replacing some gasoline efficient cars. Many people, however, feel that this is not enough. Hunted species. It's not that human activities didn't impact wildlife at all, of course. Heavily hunted species like white-tailed deer, gray squirrels, and raccoons were photographed somewhat less often in hunted areas. Coyotes showed up more often in hunted areas, while most species didn't avoid hiking trails. The predators actually preferred them. Statistical chance. The survey found that the statistical chances of someone from a poor background being accepted at one of the country's most respected universities are far lower than those of a student from a wealthy family. This means that the inequalities in society are likely to be passed down from one generation to the next. Effective regulations. There is every reason to believe that effective regulations are not merely a luxury that only the rich can afford, but an important foundation for a thriving private sector and economic growth. But the broad pattern of the past 5 years has been that the main reform efforts are taking place in rich countries. ده كده احنا خلصنا الحمد لله الريد aloud. وفي المحاضرة دي زي ما قلت لكم أنا ركزت على الأداء اللي هتعمله في الامتحان، مش المعاني لأنها مش مطلوبة طبعا. لو هتعمل أداء زي ده إن شاء الله تجيب درجة كويسة جدا. كده احنا خلصنا الريد aloud وهندخل على ال repeat sentence. طبعا repeat sentence بيجيب لك sentence كده حد بيقولها، يعني حد انت بتسمعها voice وبعدين بتقول زيها. فطبعا هنا بيجيب لك كل ال sentences اللي جت في الامتحانات اللي فاتت. نركز كده عشان ايه؟ عشان نبقى familiar مع ال sentences ديت وربنا يوفقنا ان شاء الله. طبعا بفكركم يا جماعة ان في خصم 50% على باكدج الهجرة الشامل اللي هو PTE plus الأوبرا إكزام، وده إن شاء الله لغاية أول السنة. طيب ندخل على repeat sentence. This office is for students who want to study abroad. The paper must be reviewed thoroughly and appropriately. The paper must be reviewed thoroughly and appropriately. The beggar was laughed at by the children. The percentage of respondents who knew that the earth circles the sun once each year remained essentially unchanged. Training covers a range of scenarios that an actor might encounter. Becoming a good actor requires persistence and motivation. You are recommended to only use footnotes when they are necessary. This teaching method provides opportunity for students to learn by completing tasks. This type of butterfly travels to a country with a warmer climate in winter. A company may have the same legal rights as a person. The aim is to increase the speed of the processes. The new tools are being tested by senior specialists. Junior hospital technicians have to work very long hours. The doctor examined her and said she had a chest infection. Lower speed limits are part of a new road safety campaign. What he's bringing to the company is financial expertise. Tests should be administered by a medical expert. Collecting the raw materials proved a long and laborious task. Languages are an essential part of the school curriculum. The company will arrange a taxi to meet you at the airport. Organizational failure is considered from various perspectives in academic literature. This Thursday is the last day for students to withdraw subjects without any penalty. Students are encouraged to think carefully about their accommodation needs. The amount of time spent on configuration varies considerably. Students are recommended to read new books by Professor Jones. An essay should use evidence from both primary and secondary sources. The art course has been cancelled due to the new policy. Safety glasses should be worn while doing experiments in the lab. The final exam will test material from all chapters covered in class this term. We have very little actual documentation of it. Let us see if the technology is going to cooperate with his presentation. The tutorial rooms are located along the left-hand side. The English expression is just a way of saying that age is not important. You can borrow up to 2 books at the same time in the library. I'm glad that Professor Jordan just joined our faculty. The lecture tomorrow will discuss the educational policy in the United States. Many species have not yet been discovered by biologists. The content of the book on the cover must be in capitals. He told me it was the most important assignment of all. The trial experiment is to increase the interest of the issue and the jurisdiction clause. Mobile phone chargers vary enormously from one place to another. We are considering all candidates' backgrounds and identities. There are many welcoming activities for new undergraduate and postgraduate students. Students can choose graduate certificate, graduate diploma, and master course. Please note, the proposal submission deadline has been extended. We've been doing research in that area for probably 25 years. The media have had a great influence on people's beliefs and attitudes. You realize that you can deal with a lot of situations. Marks will be awarded for a bibliography in the correct format. The campus car park will be closed next weekend. Understanding the historical context will help you appreciate the art in this era. She's doing a master's degree by distance learning. Numerous courses devoted to life sciences are listed in the prospectus. You can drop or add your courses online during the registration week. It's obviously vital that companies should fully understand their customers. I took everything to the copy center this morning before class. The results of the study challenges previously معلش راحت مني الجملة. The results of the study challenge previously held assumptions. Please make an appointment before attending the next meeting. Please make sure you have filled in all your details before submitting. We heard the argument against it from several perspectives. Making a profit and protecting the environment needn't be separate items. Keeping organized class notes will make study time more efficient. Remember to bring calculators to class next week. In Russia, my colleagues said my written language was hard to understand. For further information, you need to contact a member of our administration team. Students may not use calculators in the final exams. The first draft of the presentation is almost ready. It is of the utmost importance that you can follow the ethical guidelines carefully. When I study, I will underline all the main points in my notes. It seems that science can satisfactorily explain why the universe still exists. هنقف عند 70 ديت، وأنا عايزكم بقى تسمعوا الجمل دي، تسمعوهم كتير. زي ما قلنا بنسمع المحاضرة أول ما تنزل، ونسمع كذا مرة بحيث إن الكلام يبقى فاميليار على ودانك. أفكركم إن في الكورس بتاع الأوبرا إن شاء الله إحنا ماشيين بنشرح المعادلة كمادة علمية، لكن إن شاء الله هيبقى فيه زي يعني راب أب كده في الآخر. إن شاء الله هنلملكوا كل الأسئلة اللي جت قبل كده في الأوبرا بكل المعلومات اللي فيها، بحيث تبقى أنت داخل معاك مثلا 80 ل90% من الامتحان، وتجتهد بقى أنت في 10% التانيين بقى، إن كنت هتعمل بقى جاسنج، كنت هتفكر فيهم. فإن شاء الله يعني بإذن الله اللي هيسمع الفيديوز بتاعة المعادلة ان شاء الله هينجح في الأوبرا من أول ترايل، واللي هيتابع ال PTE كورس ان شاء الله يجيب فوق ال79. اللي حابب يا جماعة يتواصل معايا بخصوص الاشتراك في باكدج الهجرة الشامل، اللي هو فيه الاتنين، او الانجليش بس او الاوبرا بس، يتواصل معايا على رقمي 010 6 3 7 9 5 0 9 6، او يبعتلي على الواتساب. اشوفكم على خير ان شاء الله المحاضرة الجاية، وبالتوفيق جميعا. السلام عليكم.